giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live. I am your host each and every day, Will Skywalker Steele. And today I got my good brother Akoye Media in the building. That's right, it's Akoye Wednesdays. Going to take a look at this Cowboys Cardinals matchup. I'm going to dive into a little bit of the offense. Akoye is going to break down the defense and how you can attack them. A lot of good stuff today. So make sure y'all stick around for that. And in the Roundup, some somber news in the Roundup that we'll get to. And I already see a lot in the chat. People are talking about it. I'm just going to say annexation of Puerto Rico, right? I gotta get that one out. I mean, rest in peace, John Madden. We're going to talk about that for a little bit in the Roundup. Some other sombering news. Cowboys lost a defensive tackle, not to injury, to something else. And then teams are coming for our coordinators. Okoye, I waited purposefully not to talk about this in the pre-roll, but I want to talk to you about Quinn and Kellen Moore. Who you got? I want the fans to hear it first out of your mouth. No pre-roll, no pre-recorded, just straight raw, straight dope. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. It is December 29th, 2021 on this mighty Wednesday. A couple days, it'll be the new year. And like I always say, if you're looking to get into your New Year resolution, you can check out Texas Family Fitness because that's who this show is sponsored by. And we'll get into that more in the Roundup. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, I had, who was it yesterday? Brian brought us on the show yesterday. Great talk with Brian, man. Great talk with B. If you guys get a chance, make sure y'all check that out later. He came on and he talked a little bit about this matchup. We also reviewed and went over the Washington game, and we talked coaching. We talked some DC defense coordinator, offense coordinator coaching, and some Dak Prescott. Just a really good overall chat with Brian Broadus of 105.3 The Fan, the Super Bowl winning scout with the Packers and the former scout for the Dallas Cowboys, for those who do not know. So make sure y'all check that out. My guy Stevie Mac, the My Guy, can drop that link if y'all can. Let me know if the sound is good. Yeah, Koye. B is Brian. Good people's man. Brian's good people.
That's love.
Yeah.
I respect him. That's one of my guys. I like watching him.
And what I like most about B, when he wrong, he'll tell you, "Hey, I was wrong."
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be, right?
Exactly. I mean, people want to do this to be right. Like it's
right.
It's cool when you're right, but when you wrong, sometimes being wrong is good. Think about it for a second.
Man, hey, you already know I know.
Look.
Last week I got my ass kicked. I was like, damn.
We're gonna get to Okoye later. Real quick, let me get some shout outs in the building. Thank you for that, Nishawn. He said, great job with the interview with Brian. I appreciate it. Marcelo B, what's going on? Selly, Mark Smith, Bear 24, Nishawn Culver House, Tom Downing, burner account, Below the Heavens, Mike Harris, TC 915, VN, is it V Anthony 24? Fresh Fade in the building. Tamara DeBar, I see you. Angelica, Stevie Mac, the Mod God, Steve Lupton, Peasy, the Eagles are trash. Look, the Eagles are trash dropped the deuce in the chat yesterday, right? And he said, the Eagles are trash, and he was like, they still trash. So I love that. I just love that name. Just Boys, my boy Dre in the building. James, who else we got here? Lord Nova, Trey Manning, what's up, Trey? DeLunatic, Derek, Damian, who else we got here? John Mays, Alpha Mason, Sin City, and Mel Hayes in the building. Let me get some Facebook shout-outs. Chuck, I see you, Chuck. Who else we got over here? Peter Rizzo, Oscar Sullivan, always in the building. Dannon, McCarthy Robert. That's interesting. Any relation to Mike? My guy CJ up in there. Twan, Lance, Larry. I ain't see CJ yet. and Tim. So I appreciate you guys joining in here early. Notification squad. Like I say it every day. I love that you guys come through because I'm here every morning and y'all jump right in. Sometimes y'all here before me. That's no lie. Y'all know me. I'm on the ish time. I'm on that CP time. So and just keeping it a vein. Let's jump straight into. Oh, that's big news, Derek. That's big news. I gotta write that down. Put it down. All right, I'll come back to that later, Derek. Thank you, Mr. Derek Smalls. Well, let's jump into the roundup with some bad news. It is what it is.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Yes, indeed. The morning roundup presented by Texas Family Fitness, a solution for your fitness goals. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, a few days away from New Year's. I know a lot of y'all New Year's resolution is to get healthy. What better way to get healthy than hit the gym and hit the Texas Family Fitness Gym? They have everything you need from state-of-the-art equipment, group classes, and experienced certified professional trainers. So if you're looking to begin your journey, head on over to any of the 9 locations in the DFW area or visit TexasFamilyFitness.com. I'd be remiss if I did not bring up the passing of a legend, one John Madden. I mean, this one sucks, you know. I mean, they all suck. You never, you know, passing of anyone is terrible. But John Madden, for me, he was the voice of my childhood growing up. Akoye, I'm pretty sure you could attest to that as well. He, you know, when you think about the 90s football, as a Cowboy fan, you think Dallas Cowboys, right? Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, Deion, all those people. But then right after that, if you're a football fan, I think about John Madden. I'm not even talking about just the game, right? Like the game is a legend in of itself. But just his voice, you knew when John Madden was calling a game, it was something. And he brought fun to the booth, you know, the whole turducken thing with the turkey, the boom. Like he will say anything and make it sound great. He could talk about steam coming out your head and make it sound great. You know, like John Madden is just an absolute legend for many generations, including the gaming generation. My first Madden game was on Sega. And little did I know as a kid that this would turn into the greatest game of all time, in my opinion, sports game of all time. And you got generations upon generations. You hear players in the locker room like Micah talking about his Madden rating and things like that. And it sucks. It sucks. And Just Boys said the rumbling, stumbling, fumbling. Yeah, he does all that, man. It's just, John is awesome. You know, rest in peace to a legend. And he'll be missed. He'll be missed. We all know who should be on the cover of Madden, though, this next year. It should be this man. Point blank, period. Justin Hamilton is no longer a part of this amazing run for the Dallas Cowboys. He was signed off the practice squad to the Denver Broncos. And I was talking to Stevie Mack yesterday. I was wondering because I'm pretty sure Justin Hamilton's people came to him and said, hey, or came to the Cowboys and said, hey, Denver wants you over here, right? Denver wants my guy, Hamilton. Do you guys want to offer him a roster spot? And at first you would think, yeah, man, why not? But they must have looked in that defensive tackle room, guys, and said, Osa, Watkins, who's playing really good ball, Neville Gallimore, Big Bo, your 6th-round pick, who you got, you know, high hopes for. Sometimes you move my man inside and DeMarcus Lawrence. And who am I? Neville Gallimore. I said Neville Gallimore. Tristan Hill. Another one. Look into that room and you got 5 or 6 guys. You can't keep them all, right? Like you can't keep them all. And now you say, okay, I'm not going to cut any of my defensive tackles. Where can I cut someone else? It's tough. You know, you want to go short at corner? No, you don't want to cut a Nation, right? You don't want to cut any of these safeties. You don't want to cut any of these offensive linemen. You don't want to cut any of these running backs, or wide receivers. So Hamilton, I think, was the odd man out. I was hoping he'd be a part of this amazing run. But at least for 3 games, he has to stay on their active roster. So maybe you get him in the playoffs. If they cut him, we'll see. But I think the Cowboys were deep enough at defensive tackle that they were okay with letting Justin Hamilton go. And then finally, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Keep your filthy hands away from my coaches. Keep your filthy hands away from my defensive coordinator. They requested an interview with Dan Quinn and Kellen Moore for their vacant head coaching position. And we kind of briefly talked about this yesterday, but we got Akoye Media in the building. So, let's first of all welcome him in here. Hold on, I don't have he's in the building. So I'll do it my dang on self. He's in the building.
Yo. What's good, man? Thanks for having me again, man. Appreciate it.
What's up?
It's another week with a rest in peace, Ayoki. Rest in peace, Ayoki.
Rest in peace, Ayoki, man.
Yeah, we got him down, but I appreciate you having me again, man. But yeah, I agree with you, man. Keep your hands off my coordinators. But if you're gonna go at it, we're gonna go at it. But you definitely can't take Quinn at all, man. You can't touch it.
Okay, so you basically answered my question then, right?
I already know what your question is.
Who would you rather keep between 2 guys who have had collectively good years? I know me personally. I don't know about you, Akoye.
Right.
Me personally, I've been a little uneasy with Kellen over the last month. Right. But if you take his whole entire body of work this year, it's impressive, right?
No, 100%.
Yeah, I'm not
100%.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it.
Yeah, it's no hate on Moore at all when I say this, and he already kicked my ass last week for hating on him anyway. But what I'll say is, when you look at like what side of the ball has been struggling longer, it's been the defense, obviously.
Yes.
So if there's a side of the ball that needs to keep continuity, it would be defense, because this is just like a sprinkle of what we'll be able to do under Quinn's regime. Versus offensively, Dak kind of knows this offense. Having someone come in and be a Kellen, you can't do that. But you can have someone come in and keep this thing rolling with the talent that we have on the offense. I really do believe that. Not that Joe Witt couldn't do it if Quinn were to leave, but I still, right at this moment, I want Quinn to stay here because of the culture that he's already kind of started to install. It's not even finished yet. That's the crazy thing about this defense. It's not a finished product, So,
most people in the chat agree with you right here, man. Most of them in the chat agree with you. It's more can go. Keep Dan Quinn. DQ. Quinn. It's all Quinn. And I think that's the correct answer. And you kind of talked about building a culture. I said this yesterday, Akoye. You appreciate history and you appreciate defensive history. Thanks. I said I would love for the Dallas Cowboys to have their own Dick LeBeau, to have their own Jimmy Johnson, right?
Yep.
To have their own Buddy Ryan.
Zimmer, maybe, I think. Right.
And I don't even know if
he didn't even really do his thing for long here either. Yeah.
I would love to have that. Jim Johnson said, I don't need no head coaching, man. I'm building a legendary career in Philly. We're going to 5 straight NFC championship games, Super Bowl, whatever. Yep. Dick LeBeau said, I tried my hands in the head coaching position. I'm building a legendary career here in Pittsburgh. I would love to have that with Dan Quinn. Is it realistic? I don't know, Akoye, but I want to try it.
I think with a owner like Jerry Jones, who will pay like you weigh. There ain't no salary cap on coordinators. So, I think he'll pay like you weigh to keep this intact. I think Dan Quinn has shown that he's worth the money. Sure. So if it comes down to money for Dan Quinn, I think we might have an opportunity. If it's about trying to, scratch some itch at the head coaching position, I doubt that either one of them are hype about Jacksonville either way. Some organizations are just historically bad. So that might not be an ideal job for either one of them, especially with the playoffs not started. It's going to be a lot of moving chairs anyway. So I doubt that Jacksonville really has a shot, but I could be wrong.
They'll try to entice you. Hey, we got this weather. You got the first overall pick probably. You got the shiny sunshine quarterback. They'll try to entice them. And then, you'll have the relationships with the Cowboys players that if Kellen gets it, hey, Michael Gallup, you need a receiver over here, right? Yeah, I mean, it's things like that. Hey,
True.
Hey, J-Ron Kurtz, we need a safety over here. You want to come play with me? So they could do things like that. But this is just the first of, I think, many opportunities that will be granted to them. And I don't know that I'm a fan of it during the season. Like, it's week 17, bro. About to go into the playoffs, and I got to shift my focus on interviewing. No, I don't want to do that. And you said Joe Witt. I love Joe Witt in the position he's in. And like you said, if he had to, I'm sure he could. But
Right.
Joe Witt said something to me that popped back into my head that I gotta talk about, because he said, I'm difficult to work with and I don't care, because I'm gonna get what I want out of you. That's
Right.
cool as a position coach.
Right.
As a guy who has to oversee the whole unit,
I don't know. Right.
you can't be difficult to work with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it'll be a drastic opposite effect from a Dan Quinn, who is easy to work with, and you want to run through a wall for him.
That's the key right there. Wanting to run through a wall for your coach is, I think, the number one ingredient, because if there's no buy-in when you're speaking to your players, and I don't mean that they don't buy in out of fear, or they don't buy in because they don't trust the scheme. It's not about trusting the scheme, because even if they don't trust the scheme, because Dick LeBeau's zone blitzing was so unique, like you couldn't really trust it, because when he was installing it, you don't even know what that is. You had to trust the guy and have to really respect the guy. You know, you have trainers who can take a guy out and do like Wim Hof methods, where they just standing in the cold and sub-zero temperature doing like meditation. If you don't trust your coach or your trainer, you ain't going out there standing in those sub-zero temperatures. See what I'm saying?
Facts.
So trusting the individual and wanting to actually not only impress them but win for them is like the most important ingredient in coaching, period, in my opinion. Because if you hate the guy, it's a hard thing to do, showing up for work every day, man. So
Right. I mean, I'm not trying to compare bro to Nolan, but no one wanted to show up for Nolan and run through the wall for Nolan. That's important. And Fresh made a good point. If you lose Kellen, you technically have a Super Bowl winning head coach who called plays before. You know what I mean? I get that this was.
I didn't even pay attention to that, but that's true too.
You know what I mean? This was 2010 when he did it and won a Super Bowl, but he was calling plays his whole life. So it's not like McCarthy don't know how to call plays. And I would imagine McCarthy's not going to revert back to an offense from 2008. It's 2022 at that point. I'm sure he's going to come get up to date in this system. He's not going to change things. One of the things he did when he came here, Akoye, is he said, we're not changing anything for me to get comfortable with. I'm going to learn what you guys have already been doing, because it's harder for 53 people to learn something new than it is for one. And I loved it.
That was genius. Yeah.
So I think McCarthy will be fine. I see people throwing in here about McAdoo. No, I'm okay. I don't want McAdoo calling these plays. You know, I'm not comfortable with that one.
Right. It don't really, like I said, with the ensemble that we have out there, it don't really, I'm not gonna say it doesn't matter, but I think that a coordinator could come in here and make this work should Kellen leave. Now Kellen's creativity will go with him, but I think any coordinator can come in here and try to figure out how to work with these types of tools on offense. Not that we don't have them on defense. I just feel like the offense is more continuity than the defense does at playing well at a certain level. They've been playing at a higher level longer than this defense, and this defense has been bad for almost 20 years now. They're not bad, but average. You know what I mean? We haven't been this good, I don't think, ever. And it's scary to say, because like I just said earlier, this isn't even like the precipice of where we can go. This isn't our ceiling. We got guys like Cox who we haven't even integrated. We got guys like Boss Man who we haven't integrated into this defense, really. You know, you got young guys. Like I watched one play in particular when I was breaking down the Washington game. We had Chauncey on the outside, Osa right next to him, Bohanna right next to him, and Parsons right behind that. And I'm like,
young bulls.
you got four rookies right there who haven't even peaked.
Yeah.
And then you got another kid who we forget is still a kid in Trayvon, who's only in his second year, but playing like he's a 10-year vet. So like the ceiling is nowhere near reached when it comes to this defense. Even guys like Kurtz, who's a journeyman veteran, but as far as this role for him, where he's like has this leadership role and this level of play, this is even new for him. So I want to see what this looks like 2-3 years down the line with this same core unit intact.
Me too.
Yeah, I just want to see that, man. So I hope that Dan Quinn sees the same, and I feel like he will, because you could tell he genuinely loves these players. So if it comes down to like, I want to develop the guys that I've already started here with and build something like he did in Seattle before leaving, I think, you know, he'll at least spend 2 to 3 years here. I don't see this being, unless he just hates something about the organization or hates Dallas weather. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it. So I don't see this being just a dip in the pond and then he's out of here. I think he'll stay for some years, man.
I think he has a chance to build something that he's never built before. In Seattle, he didn't build the Legion of Boom, right? He molded them in a sense, right? They were there. What's my man's name? It's escaping my mind. Their defense coordinator. I think he's with Chargers. Not Chargers, the Raiders now. I think not Dennis Allen. Y'all gonna help me out here. Bradley, Gus Bradley. So I think it was Gus Bradley who was a part of that Legion of Boom first, right? Like he picked the groceries and then Dan Quinn cooked them into this great meal that was a Super Bowl champion and back-to-back Super Bowl appearances. Right. He gets to Atlanta, and he picked good players. And I say this all the time about Dan Quinn. People don't give him enough credit for having individual success. Deion Jones, Devondre Campbell, KZ had success there. Keanu Neal had success there. Grady Jarrett. He inherited the cornerback who played for the Lions recently. He always getting hurt. Trufant. He had individual success, and in 1 year he had a group success, but he really didn't build anything special.
And he wasn't a coordinator there either.
He really wasn't a coordinator.
Right. He's a head coach. It's a different role when you try to take care of the entire team versus focusing in on your guys and your particular group. So I think this bodes better for him than his time in Atlanta. I don't hold that against him either.
Yeah. What better way to add to your I don't want to say legend, but your resume than building a consistent, dominant defense in Dallas, where you can get doomsday tagged to you, right? You could become a legend in Dallas if you go out here and win a Super Bowl and build a sustainable, successful defense year in, year out. And I've always said this, man. You need two things to have a consistently good defense. You have to draft your core players well and early. Number one,
we do that. Yeah.
You got to do that, and we do that. And number two, you got to hit on some free agents. I'm not saying spend $200 million, Akoye. I'm not saying be the Giants, but you got to hit on a few free agents.
Well, I would call Kirk a hit. Yeah, I would call Kirk.
We hit on a number of them,
right,
for the cheap. So we there. We close. We close. We just gotta see it get done this year.
And Hooker.
Hooker. I'll even give Urban some love. KZ,
Urban was good, yeah.
Before
he got hurt,
I think we did well in a complete opposite of last year. Complete opposite.
Neil is eh.
No, I'll say swing and a miss, but that's cool. You're going to swing and a miss at $5 million. It's not like you're signed.
If you misses a guy who was playing safety last year
and moved to linebacker,
I can take that miss.
Yeah, I'll deal with that. Yeah. But all right, let's go ahead and move forward here, Akoye, and start talking about this Cardinals Cowboys matchup. Cardinals come into this game losing 4 of their last 5. Dallas is on a 4-game heater. They're coming into Dallas. Last year they came into Dallas and embarrassed us. That was the game that kind of reality set in. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember it, man.
Yeah. First game without Dak.
I've been waiting for this game too.
I know. Y'all should see the text message where he said, I hope we kick his ass. So, first game without Dak, man. We're trying to hold on hope as Cowboy fans. We're like, come on, Andy. You can do it.
Red rifle.
Red rifle. Save us. Boy, they came out there.
Come and save me with your voodoo powers.
They come out there and get whooped. Okay?
Yeah.
Salute to my guy, what's his name? Daryl Worley. I always feel bad talking
bad
with Daryl Worley. Because Worley.
I actually like Worley too. I think he needed a Dan Quinn.
I like Worley too, man. And he was good people's. He gave me a lot of inside information too. And I'm like, I feel bad talking bad.
He's from Philly too, right?
Yeah. We had him on the show. We was talking about his Philly beard and everything.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to Worley.
Shout out to Worley, but boy, did he get exposed in that game.
He got killed.
I think he got cut after that.
Yeah, it was Kirk killed him in that game. Yeah. But I think he was playing out of position anyway. It would be like if you asked Curse to come in and just play corner. Like Worley is a X factor type player. You don't put him at corner on the outside, in my opinion. I think he was more of a safety than a corner.
And when we broke him down, it was like he got some safety to him.
Yeah.
The quickness might not be there for him to guard no damn Christian Kirk, and we'll talk about him in a
Nah.
little bit.
What would you do? What was he trying to do here?
I don't know, man.
That wasn't his fault. I wouldn't be mad at Kirk if you put him on Kirk and Kirk did that to him. Like, what are you doing?
And that's the
Why is
beauty
he
of
even
Quinn.
over there?
He'll
Right.
put you in position to succeed.
Yeah, for yourself. Like, don't put him over there. Like, what's up with you, man?
No.
That was crazy. I was like, why is he even on this guy, man? I don't get it.
And they were running on us. You know, the funny thing is, though, Kyler Murray wasn't that great in that game. People forget. I don't even think he completed 10 passes in that game. But he just happened to hit Kirk on like an 80-yarder, and then he was just dominant in the red zone because he could run around. And not much. No. Not much has changed, Akoye, with this Cardinals offense, in my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and break it down a little bit here. We all know this is the Cliff Kingsbury offense that what do they call it? The Mike Leach offense? I think that's where he comes from. Y'all know what I'm talking about here. Come on, chat. What do they call that Mike Leach offense? I think it's basically the Cliff Kingsbury offense too. But they're a huge RPO read option team, Akoye. They're going to be in.
What do you call it? The run and pray?
No.
The run and pray offense. Because that's what he do. He run around, just make shit happen.
Run and shoot. It's run and shoot. I think it's the run and shoot offense. That's what they call it. And it's because they always in that damn shotgun, like you said, run air raid. Thank you. Air raid system. They're second in the league in running shotgun snaps. 87% of the time they're going to be in a gun. So you can expect to see a lot of that, a lot of RPO, a lot of misdirection, right? You're going to get a whole lot of misdirection. And without DeAndre Hopkins, you're going to get a whole lot of short and intermediate game, Akoye. I'm not sure if you can see. You probably can't see this on your screen, but I got the Cardinals offense up. Since D-Hop is gone, they've pretty much reverted to a huge – I mean, they've always been horizontally trying to challenge you, but everything is intermediate and short. And I felt like what I saw on tape when they try to get anything deep, it was mostly out of a bunch formation, trying to pick you and get somebody open. Now, they still can be a dynamic offense if you let them. They haven't been lately, though. They 10th in the league in scoring to 26 points per game, but the last 4 losses, 18 points per game, right? 10th in rushing, 20th in yards per carry, though. So, again, they can get yards on you, but it's mostly Kyler Murray getting those extra bit of yards. No offense to James Conner, who is playing good ball this year.
He damn sure is.
He is. But Conner is going to get you mostly in that green zone, red zone. He got 16 total touchdowns, 1,000 yards, Akoye. And my guy, Chase Edmonds, shout out to Harrisburg, Central Dauphin East alum. Chase Edmonds, 800 total yards and 2 tutties.
Conner, that Pittsburgh product, too. Mm-hmm. That's PA all day right there, too.
Yeah. I watched this offense, at least against the Colts, who will have a really good defense. And to me, I felt like they struggled and they had to pull a lot of tricks out of their bag. Now you'll see this play here on the screen. You get a one-on-one matchup, he's going to target you. I like our corners though better than the Colts corners. Shout out to Moore though. They got a nice corner over there. But when I look at their passing game right now with Kyler Murray, like I said, most of it to me seems very horizontally, and he's big time going after Zach Ertz. Ever since Zach Ertz has been there, that's pretty much been his guy. But if you look at
big game for Kirk, man.
Yeah, big game for Kirk. And he's been here, right? He's played against those
Waller. Yeah, those guys who I think Waller is probably a little more dangerous than Ertz is at this point. So yeah, he's done it. Kelsey, he's played well against those guys too. So this is good. This will be a good game.
I wanted to emphasize this, Akoye, in chat, because a lot of people got on Dak Prescott for his stretch. Remember, he had a stretch, right? He wouldn't call it a slump, but he didn't play up to his standards. He didn't want to use slumps, but he said standards.
True.
Kyler Murray's 1-4 in his last 4 starts as the quarterback. 4 touchdown passes, 5 interceptions with a passer rating of 86. But you would not be able to tell if you talk to football people, right? Like, no one's talking about that. Right. So and I'm not saying this to get on Kyler. What I'm doing is showing you that at some point he's going to want to get out of this damn slump. But don't let it be on Sunday, Akoye.
Oh, yeah, not against us. What teams have been doing against him is just taking the lid or trying to take the lid off of the offense so they can't really get behind you and forcing him to beat you with his legs. He's still hurting teams on the ground, but it's not half as dangerous as it is when you over respect his running ability and let him throw behind you. See what I'm saying? So they're just saying, hey man, listen, we're gonna spy him, we're gonna tackle him the best we can, but we'll take it if he has 150 yards and a touchdown on the ground, but we limit his air game. We'll take it. That's what teams are doing against him.
Yeah, when I was talking to Broadus yesterday, we were talking about how you want Kyler Murray throwing off of his back foot. You want him drifting. And a lot of the times you'll notice his sacks are huge yardage sacks because he's drifting and he thinks he can get away from you. And then you take him down. It's like a 15-yard.
Please try that.
That's what I told him about. I said, listen, you don't really understand Micah's speed until you get out there and you're trying to run away from Micah.
Gregory can
will walk you down.
And D-Law ain't slow. He proved that.
Osa up the middle. You forget how quick he is. I mean, you watch that tape against Washington. He had 3 reps where he didn't make the play, but he disrupted it like that because he beat the guard.
Yep. And fresh Osa is dangerous, man.
Dangerous.
It seems like he got over that wall that he had hit. Now that Nev is back, and then Tristan gave him some spell where he got to like rest up a little bit, and this has been major for him.
Absolutely, and I think that interior pressure is going to be key against Kyler Murray in the passing game. In the running game, I think it's going to be more about discipline, and when I say running game, even with Kyler scrambling, we might have to utilize kind of that muddle rush. What do you think, Akoye? Or do you spy him? Do you mix it up with some spy techniques?
Because you have a guy like Parsons out there who can, I think, run with anybody. I think you go get him with your edge rushers or with at least one of them at each time. There's a rush that we use a lot where one guy cuts in, the other one goes all the way around, and they kind of like converge.
They run that game.
Way. Yeah. So if we're doing a little bit of that, I think we don't need to contain as much. You might contain on certain plays where it's obvious that he might want to run, maybe third downs, something like that. But for the most part, I feel like Micah can chase him down. So I wouldn't mind going after him, man, with Randy and D-Law, because Micah is that eraser that we think
that's true
when he's spying. So, and that would force him to get out of the pocket and kind of like try to improvise. The only problem I have with that mindset is when he makes big plays, it is when he's scrambling out on the edge. So you might get some contain in that if they're going with that philosophy where it's saying like, hey, we want him to beat us from the pocket, we're just going to keep him in the pocket. But I personally think with the amount of pressure and the amount of pain we've been inflicting on quarterbacks, I want to hit him in the mouth early, and then kind of calm it down when we're up and let him and let him throw into the teeth of our secondary. That way, he's forced to like trying to beat us with his arm only. So come after him early. Hopefully we nail him early, and then after that, kind of calm it down and let him throw at you.
Yeah, one thing I noticed in that Colts game, and it may be a trend, I didn't watch all their games, obviously, was early and often against the Colts, they were heavy misdirection, heavy get you off your spot so they can get in the rhythm. But once they got down and they got into that fourth quarter, all that went away. It became traditional football, and Kyler was kind of herky-jerky all over the place, drifting, inaccurate, had to do some short stuff. Right, so I'm with you. Yep. If you can hammer them early, get up on these boys about 10, 13 points, which we'll talk about their defense in a little bit because that is a good defense. We're not disrespecting that defense. That's a really good defense.
They play a lot like us.
Mm-hmm. High-flying, like fast, physical.
A lot of man.
But if you can get up on them early, now Kyler Murray, the pressure is on him. Early in the game, it's not. Early in the game, I can still do my misdirection. He can still get back there, run around and things like that. So I'm with you. I would love to get up on him, hit him hard. Even when he runs, he might get 10 yards on you, but hit him.
Yep.
Crush his little ass.
Yep. There you go.
You know what I mean?
Hurt him.
Hold on. I got one for you. This is what they need to do. Facts.
Whoop that trick.
Whoop that trick.
Like he stole something.
Exactly. And let me get to their – oh, by the way, before I get to their weapons, one of the things, and it says here I didn't talk about on the stats, 9 of his 10 interceptions have been when he's not blitzed. So, to me, what that states is make him beat you from the pocket. It's not saying that he can't. Like, Kyler Murray's not Jalen Hurts. He's actually a good quarterback.
He's what they want Jalen Hurts to be, exactly.
Right. Yeah. But he's still like 5 foot nothing. So, you got, Bohanna in there, 6'5". You got 6'4", 6'5", who is it? Randy Gregory coming off the edge. You got these big boys getting their hands up, right? It's going to be hard for him to look around and throw around. That's why he has to drop back so deep.
It's going to come down to how good his center is, because if you got Nev and all those guys coming at that guy, plus we love to run games right up the A gap anyway, so his center going to be a busy man.
And when they decide to do that kind of bear front or where Dan Quinn puts 5 on your 5, Kyler better hurry up with the ball. You better make a decision fast, because not too many teams have had time to go through their reads when it's been 5 on 5. It hasn't happened.
This will be a game where our corners will get good opportunities, because we're going to be in single high all day, and he's going to launch that ball up there, man. Like, I don't think he's going to be crazy enough to go at Trayvon as much, but this is not a timing offense. They're not a timing offense. They're going to air it out on you. It's not like he's not going to sit back and wait, like you said. He doesn't go through progressions anyway. It's like, is it there? If not, I'm moving around and I'll look for something on the scramble. That's what he does. So it's not a timing offense anyway.
It's a very I said this on Twitter, at least if I'm them, and this is what they do anyway, it's going to be a quick game offense for the Cardinals, meaning they know they're not going to be able to hold this pass rush for 5 seconds, for 4 seconds, maybe not even 3 seconds. So what they've done to combat not having D-Hop anymore, because they would do it. They would take the risk with DeAndre Hopkins, because he can get open short, intermediate, and deep, and a lot of his targets were deep. Yeah. Now, if you look at the target depth for Kyler Murray over the last couple of weeks without DeAndre Hopkins, it's been season lows. It's been 6 yards and then 5 yards, so it's getting lower and lower.
He's throwing the Ertz and AJ,
Kirk,
he's trying to
Rondell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And speaking of those guys, I mean, let's take a look at some of their weapons that they have. Christian Kirk is their number 1 receiver now without DeAndre Hopkins. He leads them with 860 yards. But 55% of his receptions, Akoye, are at the line of scrimmage or between 10 yards. So Christian Kirk is mostly going to get his stuff in that intermediate range.
Julian Edelman type guy right now.
Yeah, well, quick game. And they're going to try to get screens, and they're better running than we are. They're going to try to get quick stuff to these guys. Zach Ertz has been his favorite target since he's been here over the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
He has 42 receptions since joining them. And I watched that Colts game. He is basically, and I have this in my notes, he's basically their version of Dalton Schultz. And I don't want y'all to think oh, well, Ertz is the Pro Bowler. What do you mean? I'm dead serious. He's doing basically the stuff that Dalton Schultz. The only difference may be his red zone stuff. Dalton Schultz, you don't really see him too much get involved in the red zone unless it's play action, he's wide open type stuff. But Zach Ertz and Dalton Schultz are utilized very similarly. Between 10 yards, if you can get yak, but that's not really their strength.
They split them out wide a little bit more too than they
put him in the slot too. Yeah.
So they'll do that a little bit more, but that's about it.
AJ Green, another guy who's, I think he's shown he still got something, boy, but he ain't the Green from Cincy prime Green.
Definitely not that guy. And I think he draws coverage from Trayvon this game too. I don't think it'll be Kirk on Trayvon on Kirk. I mean, I think it'll be Trayvon on AJ. So
I love that matchup.
Me too. I don't see AJ doing very much.
I don't see him getting busy.
And then you'll see AB with some help chasing Kirk around, most likely.
I could see Diggs baiting the hell out of Kyler Murray on AJ Green.
Oh yeah. He does it all week. That's why they say, he gives up the most yards and so on. No, he doesn't. He just, sometimes if you're baiting guys, sometimes you're going to miss. Like he did right after he got that interception. They went right back at him for, I think, about 48 yards in that Washington game. So it's like you can get him sometimes, you know what I mean? But I still put my money on him.
All day. AJ's not burning you. So he's going to definitely play that technique where his eyes is at the quarterback, and he's letting you think, I got this one-on-one. People really, truly underestimate Diggs' speed.
Diggs can run, man.
I don't know what it is. They think my man
running with your eyes back, man. Running with your eyes on the quarterback almost the entire time, and then he also gives himself cheats because when he plays off, he doesn't have to cover for the entire play. Like Diggs trusts his speed so much when he's playing off, he doesn't bite on any of the underneath. If you're watching him when he's playing off, he's playing man like zone because he's not even moving. He doesn't come out of it. He doesn't break out of his back pedal early. He's literally standing there probably 10 to 12 yards off the ball, just standing there watching the quarterback the whole time and kind of just feeling where the receiver is from there. And then once he gets up on him, that's when he starts.
Yep.
So he breaks and runs from there. Most corners are still bailing, even though they have the cushion. Like AB will be bailing a little bit, even with the cushion. Diggs is sitting.
Diggs' peripheral vision is elite.
Crazy.
Diggs has eyes in the back of his head, his film stuff. Like, I think if you go look at his film as a rookie, which is different, right? He's a rookie. But we got a nugget that I don't think is being talked about enough from Akoye Talib. He said, listen, we talked football, and I talked to him about how to look at and approach cover 3s and cover 2s and this and that, and where my eyes are. And I was like, oh, you watch Diggs, look at how he plays, and then go look at Akoye. Very similar. It's very similar. And go look at the ball production of Akoye Talib early in his career. He was a dangerous cornerback because he can physical you and he can get the ball. Normally, corners are either cover guys or ball hawks.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get it twisted. Both. Diggs is both.
Yep.
Both of them.
Yep.
And there's
if he didn't want the ball, you wouldn't get no yards.
Come on, man. There's a sector of people out there that talk about Trayvon. Oh, well, he gives up all the yards. How many times I got to tell y'all? When you're up as much as you're up, teams are going to throw the ball a bunch, and of course he's going to give up some catches. But find me in the last 5 to 6 weeks where Diggs is just getting torched. And I'm not talking about getting mossed like he did against the Washington.
Sims,
tons of credit.
If you're going to catch that, catch it. I mean, his hand was still on that ball. His hand was on it. Like, he gets there, man. Beyond that. But you made me feel good with that. Another shameless plug, man. When I broke down Diggs out of college, when I broke down his college tape, that's exactly who I compared him to.
Yeah,
Akoye
you mentioned
it was crazy that Akoye actually started working with him too. That was dope.
You mentioned that last week when we played it, and that's what kind of made me pop in my head. It's like, well, you talked about Akoye last week. Let me bring that up again because you can see the similarities. And then him talking to Akoye just puts it all together.
Yeah, it's like, damn, that was crazy. You put that clip up there. I didn't see that. I never watched it, but that was dope. I didn't know they were working together. But you can see it now. It makes sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't try. I mean, he's going to. Kyler Murray's he's not Heineke. If Heineke first play of the game is going, by the way, what the hell?
What was you trying to do that for?
What are you doing?
First 2 plays of the game. Like, what are you doing, bro? And then you had Boss Man on the other side who actually, looked beat. Rookie. So it was like, I was like, what are you doing? Why won't you go do that over there, man?
I don't understand it. But if Heineke's going to do it, we know that Kyler's going to do it. But I think their best bet, Akoye, from what I've seen and seeing how the Cowboys play, is to try to beat the Cowboys with the quick game and the misdirection. And if Rondale Moore plays, Rondale Moore and Christian Kirk could be featured a whole lot. Rondale Moore is another sneaky little weapon. He don't got a ton of touchdowns, but he's got a lot of receptions. I think he's second on the team in receptions. But listen to this stat. 88% of his receptions are behind the line of scrimmage or within 10 yards. His average target depth is 1.1 yards.
Oh, so he said we got bubble screens, we got hitch routes, we got smoke screen. They got a lot of them too, huh?
Oh my God, they got a ton.
They got Bubba over there, offensive coordinator.
He got a whole lot of that.
Shout out to Bubba.
Arizona. Got them crabs down there. Yeah, man. Rondale Moore and Christian Kirk. This just feels like a game. If he plays, Rondale Moore didn't play last week. James Conner didn't play last week, but I think they will. And I feel like if you want to try to combat this Cowboys pass rush, you got to do it with quick stuff. So I could be going out on a limb. I don't think I am, y'all, but this might be a Zach Ertz, Christian Kirk, Rondale Moore type of day. Then when they get into the red zone, they'll look for Kyler Murray's legs and A.J. Green maybe on some fades or some body type stuff. But I think we got the guys to match up, Akoye.
Yep.
I listen, again, a lot of people we get on AB, but I think AB and Jordan Lewis and I low-key kind of want to see Boss Man again. I ain't gonna hold you.
I do too. Boss got the pass rush though saved Boss on a couple of those plays. If you broke down the film, I was watching it. Not hating on it,
but I mean for the quick stuff.
Got juked out his shoes a couple times. Yeah.
For the quick stuff, for the stuff at the line of scrimmage, for the stuff within, when they try to get it to him right off the line. Yeah. I like Boss Man in that situation.
Oh, because he gonna jump something too. Yeah, Boss want to jump something ASAP. Like he ready. So I like how he blew up that last that little hitch route they did against Humphreys. He killed Humphreys on that play, man. So yeah, I would like that.
When he caught behind the line of scrimmage and
Mhm.
yeah. Our guys,
Yep.
I don't know what it is. But since Quinn has got here, these boys are tackling. Our
Yeah,
our
all of
corners,
them.
all of them are tackling very
Every
well.
last one of them can hit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And my bad if I've missed some super chats. I'll go back and look, but I did have one here that popped up in my head.
Super chat.
Forever Runway Fashion Line says, I'm ready to smoke my pack of Arizona Cardinals. I can dig it, bro.
He says, smoking that Murray pack.
Smoking that Murray pack. I'm going to go look for some more before we get into everything. But, yeah, man, that's the Cardinals offense of a breakdown. I'll bring some more of the film up as we talk more about this, guys. And later, we'll do the hashtag A to Z as we always do. So if you got more questions about the offense, you can. But, again, they're struggling as of late, Akoye, but this is still an offense you do have to respect. You know, this is Kyler Murray. They do got guys that can get busy. James Conner, Edmonds. It'll be our biggest test. And honestly, bro, I couldn't wait for this.
Yeah.
Because everyone's been saying, oh, look who you've been playing. There's nothing else you can say if you go out here and do this to them.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep. And on top of that, you know you're going to get their best punch because just like every other team that's been playing us, if none more than them, this will be we're the perfect opportunity for them to gain their confidence going into the playoffs. If they can kind of do some damage to this defense and actually get their offense together against us, that gives them all the confidence they need going into the playoffs. So this is a playoff game.
It's a playoff game
for the playoff for all of us.
Brother
and we're
said,
playing we're still fighting for number one at that. So this is a playoff game.
Brother said you got to treat this as a 2-5 matchup because that's what it is. So look at it as you're the 2 seed, they're the 5th seed. If you lose, you're going to fall from that 2 seed. They're going to move up. I'm not saying it's do or die, but just kind of go into it like it's a playoff atmosphere. I'm pretty sure Cowboys Nation. I don't know who's going to the game, but I'm pretty sure y'all are going to bring it. We do give we give Cowboy fans a lot of crap about the cheese. What do they call the wine and cheese crowd? But I've heard in playoff games and playoff atmosphere, the crowd can be wild and loud. So I think Kyler Murray is going to get a completely different crowd at AT&T Stadium than he did last year. And that could play in our favor with that pass rush.
Yeah.
Think about it. And before we move on, like teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, the Minnesota Vikings, the Seattle Seahawks, when they had those defenses, they had an extra man on the field, and it was the crowd. Look at Jared Allen, bro. He got so many sacks at home because they had to go silent count.
Yep.
If you can make a team have to be silent in Dallas with that pass rush, I'll take my chances.
Yep.
All day
Only
tomorrow.
reading their cues, they're going to get the jump on that ball, man. And then you got Parsons playing around in that A-gap is just crazy, man, because like you said, even when he's not coming, it's like you say, you let that bear look where they bring five. Even when he's not there, even when he's just standing in that crawl technique and he bails out on those players, him and Kurtz will stand there and then bail out. Even when they do that, you're still one-on-one because the center has to respect it regardless. Because when I think Randy Gregory got that play where he almost got a sack last week. They didn't even block Randy because right after Micah Parsons got his sack in the middle, he stood there on his next one and didn't even come. And then three of those guys didn't block Randy. Nobody blocked Randy.
That was the play I said Dan Quinn's in his bag. He's in his bag.
He's showing how to get guys untouched. How you got 3 guys all blocking Dorrance Armstrong? Nobody touched Randy at all.
They showed that sugar blitz, and a lot of teams do it to the Dallas Cowboys. Teams do this across the league. They'll line up 6 defenders right on everybody, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody got a guy. Everybody's in a gap. Everybody's on a man. Right. And now it's your decision. Are they going to come or are they not? Some teams, it's obvious. Like, you're not a blitzing team. We know your tendencies. I promise you, and you a film dude. Yeah. Can you pick up a goddamn tendency with Dan Quinn? I haven't yet.
No. I never know when he's coming and when he's not.
I haven't.
He has tendencies as far as the plays. He don't call a lot of plays.
No, I'm talking about when he's coming, who's coming, from where.
You don't know exactly.
Yeah.
You don't call a lot of plays, but you don't know when he's doing what because it all looks similar. You know what I'm saying? Especially third downs. You never know what he's doing. You never.
And on that play, they had the 4 defensive linemen. They had Micah in one gap, and they had Kurtz in one gap. And what they did was everybody sugaring, standing up or whatever, and they dropped Micah and Kurtz. And the right tackle, the center, and the left guard, or
all
the right guard, all
crashed. and Randy's like, straight off the edge.
Oh, all right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I remember that, man.
Yeah.
crazy.
Couple plays like that
See,
Washington.
that's why I like talking to you too, because you know what you're looking at too. It's not just like, I watch somebody at ESPN, and nothing against those analysts, but sometimes they sit there talking to Molly or whoever, and she just like they're just talking, just saying stuff. But like you actually know what you're saying and know what you're looking at. So it's like fun. Like, oh, you saw that too. I like that.
That's why I like when you come on.
You be on point, man.
When you be talking, I be like, damn, they saw the same shit I'm saying.
Yeah,
but
it's confirmation because I'm like, I'm not listening. Voch too. Yeah,
no. Voch dropped. Remember, he dropped that thing in the chat about, who the hell is this lady? I ain't gonna drop the name of the lady, but he right. Like they be on these shows.
Oh yeah.
And they just be talking in circles.
I went and listened to it too. I was like, she's just rambling and just going back and forth. Like, yo, she agreed and disagreed with everything all day. Hey man, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Shout out to a couple of people here. Fresh Face, I love this show, man. So much better than the 4-letter networks. Appreciate you, man. He said, and then our old head Doug Smith said, I know Mr. Akoye does a solo, but these two youngsters are incredible together. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you for having me on here, because like this is like in the 4 years I've been doing this, this is the most consistent I've been actually on a tandem like this, and the most fulfilling. I like talking football rather than just sitting up here by myself doing whatever. Like this is what I like doing. So yeah,
I feel like our community, definitely our close knit. We got a close knit group and fan, but we all uplift each other. So that's what it's about, man. Trying to make each other better, because there's plans beyond this later down in the, you know what I mean. So we all trying to lift each other up. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna switch gears for a little bit here, and head over to the film room. Akoye is gonna jump into the film room, break down this Cardinals defense. Before we do that, though, we'll take a quick little 30-second break. And y'all get your water, y'all get your coffee, do what you got to do, get ready. And Akoye is going to come back through, and he's going to break down this Dallas Cowboys defense versus the Arizona Cardinals. Dallas Cowboys offense versus the Arizona Cardinals defense. Some things we can do, some things he saw on film. I'm telling you.
Got a super chat in there too, Michael Gibson, before we roll.
Let me get one. Appreciate you, because I'll be missing him.
Yeah.
Super chat.
Thank you, Michael Gibson, for $5 donation. He says, I have no doubt that our defense will shut Murray and the Cardinals down, and Skywalker, you and Akoye are always on point. I appreciate that a lot, Michael, and I'm confident in our defense too. I'm forget confident. I'm excited. I'm excited to see this. Yeah, last 4 weeks been kind of like a warm up. Yeah, a warm up. It's the matchup for you. It's the matchup for you.
Yes,
all
sir.
right, so give us again, like I said, about 30 seconds. Get your water, get your drink, get whatever you got to get, and we'll be right back to break down this Cardinals defense.
Where else you want to go? Don't nobody do it like us, bro. Oh my goodness. We beat the brakes off y'all. Whoop that trip.
All right, Akoye, go ahead and break down what you saw on the film room, with these Arizona Cardinals and their defense, which we know is a pretty dang good one. Oh, my bad.
No, go ahead. You're good. But still in the back end is going to be game in this game. I think that Zeke is actually showing a little bit more burst, so Zeke will probably have some opportunities here, but this is definitely a Tony Pollard type of game. Think about the Chargers game and the things he was able to do when we were still in the back edge against Bosa and those guys. You're going to see it again here. The tight end is going to come across and trap block. Golden on this one, take him out, because Chandler is really respected. Sort of like Udon or Judon in the Patriots. You're not going to run at Chandler. I respect him. And when you watch him on film, you're going to watch them run directly at him in a couple more plays. But when you run right at him, he's solid most of the time. So you want to get a body on Chandler and steal that back edge, and you're going to see opportunities like this maybe, a good 10 times a game. They were giving it up a lot. Maybe 10 to 12 times a game. You're going to see opportunities for those cutbacks, even if we don't take them. When you run right at Chandler, though, this is what happens. Like strong side, you'll see him on the right here. You see that he forces those cutbacks anyway. And you see, I would have taken this. I think Zeke will do the same. But Taylor decides to go right back front side again. because it was one-on-one with him and that safety. And I'll take that with Pollard and Zeke any day, all day. But if you don't get a body on Chandler, or when you see him weak side, which is rare, but this is him weak side. When you see him weak side and you try those trap blocks on him, it doesn't really work. So you wanna block him front side, strong side. You want to keep him strong side and keep a body on him, because when you're bringing those trap blocks at him, he kills that all day. And then there's Simmons. Simmons plays like a lot like our number 9, who no longer is with us, where he chooses sides on a regular basis. He's a slasher. If he has a clean, if he's clean and he gets his guys keep him clean, he can come and make some plays with athleticism. But he still hasn't quite learned how to use leverage to get off of blocks. So you run right at Simmons when you're running the ball up the middle. You choose Simmons because he's going to choose a side, and you're going to see this. I'm going to show you probably 2 or 3 times on this one, but you're going to see he'll take many false steps trying to get off of the block. Now watch how many steps he takes. This is like our 55 and 54, like what we were looking at. No pun intended on those guys, but it's just the truth. Watch how many false steps he takes here. I think it's like 5, 6 steps.
Took himself out to play.
All the way out of the play before he even sees where the ball is, and there's no way he makes this play. So you see a lot of Simmons chasing plays down from the backside, but that's the ground game. And in the air, they're weak on the sides, like on the left or right, east or west. Horizontal game works a lot, whether you're in the red zone, all up and down the field. If you can buy yourself enough time for those crossing routes or to clear with some drag routes, you're good. They do bring a lot of pressure when it comes to, even with their front four, they bring pressure. What you'll need to do though is be sound with your check downs. You'll see that coming up. But these deep crosses, when you actually have time, just like teams like to attack us this way when we're in cover one. So we see this a lot against our defense, and it works as well against them. I don't think they man up as well as we do. But when they're actually firing off and they're on point, or you see these pressure looks that they like to bring, smart check downs are going to be key. And what I mean by that is, don't have your running back running out to the flat where you can't get to them. You know what I mean? You need to have guys chipping and stepping right off the line. Like, watch when Budda Baker comes to the line. You either want to throw right at where Budda Baker's vacating, or you want to throw opposite side. Like you see that tight end here. You'll see that as soon as he chips and releases, he's wide open. It's just Wentz is not ready for that. I don't know how you don't see Budda Baker coming down on the line. He was right there, obvious, but he wasn't ready for that. But you can see that was wide open for him. And if we're using Schultz and or Zeke and Pollard in that way, where we're asking them to like chip and release right behind the blitz, you'll get a lot of opportunities for run after the catch, and you're going to see those here. The same thing, these crossing routes work all day if you have time. When you don't, chip and release work as well. And you're going to see Jonathan Taylor on the play coming up do the same thing. He's got space and opportunity. He's going to be there. He's just not going to catch the ball on that one. But yeah, Budda Baker felt this one too, man. Boom. Watch it when he goes to get up. Budda Baker feels it, man. He felt
that's a big boy. They're tight end.
He felt that. But this is what I mean right here. So they're going to clear out with these in-breaking routes, the tight ends. They're going to clear everything out, and then just slid Taylor right there. He just didn't catch the ball, but nothing but space and opportunity. You could sneak guys out all day against Arizona. This was working all day. I just pulled out 1 or 2 plays, but cutbacks, the cutback running game, that one cut running game is going to work. Horizontal, deep, and intermediate with the passing game. And if you're in trouble, chip. You're going to see Schultz in our running backs chipping and releasing. Hopefully, if we're thinking the right way, that's how you attack Arizona. You don't give them a lot of time by having your running backs running routes or your tight ends running routes. You just chip, release, and just wait for the ball. You'll have time.
All right, man. There you have it, man. Akoye's film breakdown for the Arizona Cardinals defense. Excellent job as always, Akoye. Like I said, I find out things all the time when you break down anybody's film, offense or defense. And one of the things that I was noticing in that breakdown was the crossing route aspect of the situation there. A lot of man, right? So when you play a lot of man, they did that. I think you even mentioned it. Teams do that to Dallas. We saw the Raiders do that to Dallas a lot. We saw Denver do that to Dallas a lot. I think this could be a game. I don't think you're going to see this shell. Vance Joseph is not going to play a lot of shell. He doesn't like to do that, and he's got the weapons to come forward. So this may be one of those games where you get a Vance Joseph, who's a Cardinals defensive coordinator, versus Kellen Moore, who gets the better of each other.
CD and Gallup will have a big game, both of them. CD one of those crossing routes, and then Gallup, because they're playing single high most of the time. If Dak can hit Gallup deep early and get that confidence and that connection, he's going to go to that well a couple of times this game, because the opportunities for those deep routes on the outside are always there, because they like you said, they very rarely do too high, very rarely.
Right.
So you're going to see a lot of crossing and a lot of opportunities outside one-on-one.
It's going to be about protecting up front.
Yep.
It really is. And getting Tyron Smith back is massive, absolutely massive. Because we like Steele, right? This is a great depth guy, and we like what Ty Nsekhe has done in their, they've been on and off. But Tyron Smith is Tyron freaking Smith.
100%.
And Chandler Jones is a game wrecker. Now, early on in the show, I was told, and you guys confirm this here, Chandler Jones has 9.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. He is one of the best pass rushers of his time. We know he's that dude. However, Marcus Golden is actually their leading sack guy. Yeah. He has 11 sacks and 4 forced fumbles, and I just found out he's on the COVID list, Akoye.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And it's Wednesday. So at the very least, he has to be out. I don't know if he's vaxxed or not vaxxed, but 5 days, right?
Yeah, he's not
Thursday,
playing.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He ain't playing.
Yeah, he's not playing.
That's huge. They got some other guys that can go after the quarterback. Jordan Hicks, they blitz Jordan Hicks a lot. Buda Baker, he can blitz. Yeah. But from a down in, down out perspective, losing Marcus Golden, I think is huge, because him and Lyle Collins were going to be battling. They were going to be battling all day. Now, if I am the Cardinals, I'm isolating Chandler Jones on Lyle, and I'm trying to win that way. I'm going to have to send some chips over there, maybe move the line that way. But Chandler's going to have to be a one-man wrecking crew if Marcus Golden's not there. So that's a huge loss for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep, 100%. But Golden was a guy you can run at with those cutbacks and all that. You can run right at him, but pass rush wise, he was a problem.
They got a cat that I wanted us to sign in the offseason. I'm a big fan of, and not Jalen Phillips. Jalen Thompson is a safety, but Phillips, I forget his first name. Jordan Phillips, big boy, about 6'6", about 320 pounds, just big dude. They put in the middle to help stop a run, but they aren't really a run-stopping team, as you saw. You broke it down on the film. I think that due to their scheme and due to, and no offense to Isaiah Simmons, but you just showed it. All those missteps and misdirections, that's bad news when you got a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, who was Taylor, and you got a guy like TP. These guys, their vision is exceptional.
You don't even have to misdirection Simmons to get him to take a side. Like, he's a sideline to sideline guy regardless. You don't have to do anything other than run right at him. He's going to try to go around this guy. And crazy that we say that, we kind of criticize him for it, but that's why I talked about the steps and not the fact that he's just choosing sides, because Parsons will choose a side and jump out of the gap. But like I said, sort of like Dragon Ball Z, he teleports right back into it, right behind you. So it's no false steps in his moves when he does that. It's a shoulder dip, and he steps right back into position, whereas Simmons is actually taking full, because he's a longer guy, he's taking full steps in the wrong direction in most cases. So, yeah, when you run right at him, you're going to have a lot of fun with Simmons. So, like I said, if that plantar fasciitis, whatever you call it, is not too bad, Pollard going to have a mean one in this game, because this game is slated for Pollard, with not only the passing game with those quick check downs right behind the blitz, but also those cutback lanes. Man, you put your foot in the ground and you can go against this team.
I've been an advocate of the under center play action, but I don't know that I want to do too much of that today and Sunday, Akoye. But well, more so with Buda Baker and Jordan Hicks, and how Vance Joseph likes to bring that extra defender. He does it a lot. Like, they're one of the highest blitzing teams. I wish we had Professor Owen here. He got a stat for me. They're one of the highest blitzing teams in the NFL. And the problem you run into when you go under center, you turn your back with the play action, that extra defender doesn't care. His
blow you up.
Exactly. His whole job is to blow you up. So this might be one of those games where if you are under center, all right, mano y mano, let's beat your man, let's create an alley, or hey, let's continue to run the pulls and the traps and get outside. It's been working, right? It's been working. And if you catch them at the right time, they're blitzing from the wrong direction, and you get a pull, and you get outside, that's house money for Tony Pollard.
Plus, on top of that, when Zeke's actually in there and you got Buda Baker in the box and he's just on the back end and you're sealing sealing that defensive end that's in front of him. You saw that with Jonathan Taylor. He just didn't take it. But when you have your running back one-on-one with that blitz and safety or with that box safety like Buddha likes to be in there, I want Zeke in that matchup because that's like we saw what happened when the tight end ran in the Buddha as well. Buddha's not a big guy. So I want those one-on-one matchups where Zeke, even if it's 1 yard and a puff of smoke, I want Buddha to feel that because then when Tony's in there, it's home run central because nobody gonna want to touch it.
I hope Zeke has some little revenge in his mind because last year against this team, he fumbled 3 times and Buddha made him fumble.
So Buddha went off.
Yeah. So
Buddha went off. I ain't disrespecting him. I just feel like he's more of a honey badger than a curse. You know what I'm saying?
He remind me of like Bob Sanders.
Yeah, little dude that's a little missile. A meat missile. Yeah, he's coming, man. He trying to kill you.
We were talking about it last week with Harlem Nights. My man, but that is Buddha. Yeah, and it does a little damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he a little 44 Magnum. Yeah, he a little 44 Magnum. He gonna hurt you.
Shoot that shit.
Yeah,
that's Buddha.
Yeah.
Again, Jalen Thompson's another safety who gets a lot of tackles, but Jordan Hicks, somebody I seen said in the chat, very underrated, man. This defense, honestly, man, if it weren't playing the Cowboys, I'd be like, I like this defense.
Yeah, their defense is mean. It's just if you can buy time for those crossing routes, not too many teams like Talib said this, like not too many corners can cover crossing routes or deep overs anyway. Those are hard routes to cover. And if you can buy the time against this defense, that's where you have opportunities, whether in man or cover 3, you got opportunities all day. And if you're thinking back on like the way Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, I know I'm using some crazy examples there, but think about their short passing game where Tom Brady, especially when he was using James White and Burkhead or Buckhead or Burkhead, Lance Burkhead. Yeah.
Rex Burkhead, yeah.
Rex Burkhead, there you go. With the way they blitz running backs like that, that's why I said Pollard will have fun even in the passing game if we're using them, because that would kill Arizona with the amount of pressure that they bring. Because usually the odd man out the guy that they're ignoring in most cases when they're bringing that type of pressure is the check down or the running back. You know what I mean? So if those running backs can chip and release and just be ready for the ball right then and there instead of having them darting out to the flat, they'll have a lot of fun in this passing game, man. Schultz too. Schultz, blocking Chandler and showing like he's there for help and then just releasing right behind
and
it.
He does that very well.
Oh yeah,
he does that very well. Yep. They did a lot of that this past week, or some of it, I should say. Let me give some credit to Kellen. Excuse me, y'all. In the red zone, and they set this up in this game where they ran a lot of trips to the right. And eventually got down to the red zone, and they finally did what we wanted them to do, Akoye. Stop doing this, send out Ezekiel Elliott on the flats or lining him out wide. They ran him to the middle, and it wasn't really an arrow route, but it was like an out route, right? Yeah. And they set it up with a kind of a flood to the left, and you got a pick going on in there naturally.
He froze Mayo,
wide
and
open.
Then boom, yep, it was over.
Wide open. Do that. Do more of that. One man say,
it's like a bad boy. He's like, that's how you drive. I knew that's where you was going. I know how you think. That's how you drive. That's what I wanted to say too. I wanted to hit him with a hat, like, yo, man, thank you.
Right, like take the yeah, man. That's how you do it. I thought he called a really good game. I thought the execution was well. I thought he did what again. Talk your ish about anybody, Akoye. They gonna come out and do what you say. They attacked. To a man, somebody. It's
like they all passed my video around like locker room material or something, man. Because everybody I
Philly ninja out here.
D-Law, watch. You heard what he said, right? All right, we got you.
These AKs is talking shit.
Kellen went off. D-Law went off. Everybody I said something about, except for LV. LV did what LV does, man. Yeah. But other than that, everybody went off.
You talking about manscaping? Shit, look, he talking about you, look, kind These manscaped ninjas out here.
Oh man,
for real. Every time you say so.
Yo, I believe it now though. You can't deny it. I am a conspiracy prover, not a theorist.
I know.
I'm a conspiracy factual guy, right? But that theory is definitely true, man. Kellen Moore, there's no way you just forgot how to call all this stuff. And then every time we were in the red zone, it was perfect.
Oh, God, it was beautiful.
How you perfect all of a sudden? and you couldn't figure it out for like 5 weeks straight. So it's like all that was subterfuge, man. I really do think that they were taking some of the plays out of the playbook for film's sake, in my opinion. I just really think that's what they were doing. And the other thing that I didn't think about, though, Collinsworth was talking about it, but he didn't really dig in. I don't think he hit it on the head, but he was talking about it. Dak's calf muscle stopped him from being able to throw the ball the way he usually was throwing since he's been this version of Dak, meaning, being able to turn his hips and actually step through with that foot. Because if you remember the Patriots game, he threw off of his right foot and then landed on it. He can't do that. He couldn't do that when he was injured. So I think Dak's legs being a little bit more healthy last week as well might have been part of the reason he was able to rip them apart. But I give more credit to Kellen's play calling than anything else, because a lot of those looks were like Dak didn't have to do any. Dak could have been in a wheelchair throwing some of those passes.
And they finally attacked. They aggressively attacked that damn shell, and it wasn't. It's not like we were making this up. What's his name? Amari Cooper came out and said it. Hey, we got cover 2 beaters. We're just not running them. What? Yeah. Excuse me, sir. Yeah. But I here's my theory.
Gonna say it though, because he
real
came
smooth
back,
like too.
Leatherhead too. He was like, yeah, when we doing a lot of comeback routes. I've never seen so many comeback routes ever.
Why are we run? I told him not to run comeback routes against Darius Slay. He still ran comeback routes against. He didn't say nobody's name, but you know who he talking about. I know who you talking about. Yeah, Amari don't. People sleep on Amari.
He mean, man. He want the balls. He just got a baby face, but that boy's serious, man.
Amari ain't nobody play.
Nah, he want the ball, man.
Did you see?
He was pissed.
Did you see the video? They was in Dallas this summer, and they went to the bull the bull who be doing the salt. You don't know the bull who be doing the salt, who be dropping the salt? I think they call him Salt Bay. He do this.
No.
You never seen that meme?
Oh, okay. The
the bull who be doing a little
who making steak and all that. Right?
Yeah. So they go to. I guess he got a restaurant in Dallas. So Amari Cooper go to the restaurant, and he come over there talking about, I think, trying to pour the salt on his food or doing a sake shot or something like that. And Amari was like, nah, bro. We're not doing that over here. You can go do that somewhere else. Like, Amari's not with the shits, as they say. It's not with it. Take that over there, man. Not with none of this. We'll play with this backup.
Right.
Amari ain't Salt Bay me, dog. I don't want you to sweat from your arm on my steak. What are you talking about?
I know how to pour salt food. That's why I don't like Benihana's, man. I'll be at Benihana's. It's like every time I've been at Benihana's, right? I've had my girl with me, right?
The hibachi part where they make it for you?
Yeah, but like you know how they pour the oil, or I don't know if it's oil or water. But
the sake joint.
On the joint, I'm like, yo, y'all is mad. Because I'm a man, you a man. Y'all like, these men is mad. The dudes who be cooking be mad disrespectful. They're not even Japanese. These dudes not even Japanese.
They be regular.
He had a dude look like Travis Kelce, man. I'm like, this Fabio looking bull. I was like, don't you dare try it. My girl sitting here.
He tried to feed him.
Not mine, but it's this young boy. It's like this couple was there. This young guy was there. He's like a YouTuber, and his girl, a little Asian girl with her, she a YouTuber too. And I'm like, he's mad disrespectful because he is squirting this juice right in the main man girl mouth in front of his face. And main man just down in his phone acting like he don't see it,
nah.
I'm like, man, we will be rumbling in Benihana's, bro. Like, y'all disrespectful in here, man.
This what he did to Amari.
Massage, yeah, crazy.
This what he did. So thank you for letting me know. He tried to feed him. He tried to feed Amari Cooper steak.
What? That's all. Bruh. Killing me.
Amari.
That's all. Like, you gotta get out of here.
You gotta go.
You not gonna have no job after this. I'm about to break your arm, bro. You was crazy. I was like, yo, he's really doing that? And he did it like 3 times.
Nah,
I'm like, damn.
And you're right. They don't even be Japanese no more. And they be funny. I ain't gonna hold you.
This look like Travis Kelce, man. I was like, damn, man.
I had a funny. He was good. He did a good job too. It was a Mexican dude, and he just kept saying, like, he kept throwing shots at the whole fact that I'm Mexican cooking in a Japanese restaurant and the hibachi thing. Like, he was funny as hell. But I actually love the hibachi stuff. It's just don't feed me no damn steak.
No, not at all, man.
I mean,
crazy.
Don't do that. Just cook it. All right, man. Before this gets off on the rail,
we already did.
It's time for hashtag A to Z, where we answer y'all questions. So hit the hashtag A to Z, and whatever questions y'all got for Akoye and I, we'll go ahead and get to them about this game, about whatever the hell y'all want to talk about, man. Because y'all know us, we'll venture off into movies, We'll venture off into food. We'll venture off into anything. So it's your job now to save us. Let me get into the chat.
Oh,
Triple D said, Koya, you're not going to let Travis Kelce feed your girl, bro.
no, not at all, man. I'm like, if she even look like she wants some steak over here, we going home, man. What's up with you, man? You was tripping. You better sit over there and act like you enjoying my elbows and leave that alone. Like, what's up with you?
The lunatic said, hashtag A to Z, speak on the blocked field goals, 3 return, or the blocked punts, 3 return for touchdowns. Yeah, man. Listen, we got to give big hat tip and credit to John Bones Fossil. We've blocked more punts this year than the last 20 combined. That's crazy.
Man, think about this, man. All that heat they gave him after the Chargers game, I said leave him alone because at least he's trying to do something different. You know what I mean? When we went for that block, and I think before the half, and he calls us like a field position issue or something like that because we got a flag on it. But it goes to show, and it's different people doing it. So it's not like a special teams ace that we have that just has a gimmick. It's him. He knows how to put guys in position from different positions, up the middle, on the edges, either edge. Bones Fossil is a special teams ace
Guru.
for real.
I mean,
it
is what it is. And again, at times you're going to be pissed off with them. I mean, look at Sean McVay. He caught a fake punt at the 10-yard line before. Sean McVay, he came to the side. Sean McVay said, "What the are you doing?" And you know what Bond said? Bones said, "Bad, bro. This is what I do. This is what I do. 90% of the time, we good. It's that 10%. But I can live with that 90 to 10.
I can.
What I think he's going to make teams do in the playoffs is you have to prepare for Bones. So you got to take away an extra 10 minutes of your practice time that you may need to spend in the red zone, or you may need to spend doing 2-minute drills, or et cetera, and you have to practice against the block punt team.
And here's the thing. It's like an amoeba. You mean it's morphing the whole time, because once he puts one thing on film that you have to block, he knows what the counter is. That's why it's coming from different directions, because he's like, okay, I'm stressing you out in the film room, like you just said, where now you're going to see guys, okay, when you see this look, we're going to overextend here because we know he's bringing pressure off the right. And now he has room up the middle because of what they have to do to counter what he did last week. So the fact that he's still successful with them is because he was successful with that first, or because he tries them. You have to counter what he puts out there, and now it gives you opportunities, out there on other sides or up the middle or anywhere else, because he knows what they're going to have to do to stop what he put on film last week.
And that energy or that confidence is starting to transfer to these guys individually. Clement, right? He makes that play. That's an individual win. That wasn't a design block. Clement, probably looking at the tape with Bones, hey, this gunner, or not gunner, I forget what they call him, the blocker likes to set this way. If you give him an outside move and come back in, you got him. And that's exactly what Clement did. Got his hand up.
And running back at that, so he got that.
Got the shiftiness, Shout out to Trucker's Life.
Super chat.
How you doing, Trucker's Life? Hope you're driving safe out there, brother. Thank you for the $5 donation. He says, what up, Skywalker and Akoye? What's going on, man?
So with you.
Jamie, I said, so y'all never caught the shrimp? No, never caught the shrimp.
Not at all, brother.
But man, Lowe said, hashtag A to Z, who is the player to get the rhythm early to score early and often? That's Amari, right?
Yeah. Amari, it seems like when Amari does well, this offense is smooth, because when they're trying to take Amari away, opening up things for CD, and then that is within itself opens up things for Gallup. So I think that's the combination there. And if they're able to somehow smother all three of those guys, then, like I said, those check downs with both Schultz and these running backs will have fun on those early downs when they're actually successfully covering those guys on the outside. But Amari is the key to the wide receiver game, I think.
I would say anywhere between Amari Cooper and the run game, because if we get the run game to be efficient early, that sets up stuff for later. That sets up stuff for later in that drive, et cetera, et cetera. Mm-hmm. But there was a stat somebody put out when Amari Cooper gets 3 catches in the first quarter or something like that. The offense does this, it does that. When he doesn't, it does this and does that. But so I would say Amari, and then maybe the run game being efficient. I don't need it to be 150, 175, 200-yard game. Go look at the last few weeks. It's more been about efficient being efficient so it could set up the play action. You get into the red zone. Now you just got to win in the red zone. That's what they weren't doing.
Right.
Hashtag A to Z. CJ Richards on Facebook says, will Dak have another 300-yard day? Or 300-yard day?
I think so. The opportunities are there for it. Like I said, this is a defense. When you're in practice against cover one all day anyway, that's the good thing about this defense. Even though they are good and they do bring a little bit more pressure than we do, they blitz a little more than we do, but we see cover one all day in practice anyway. So I think if there is a team that Dak can line up against and actually pick apart a little bit, it'll be a team that plays similar as far as the shell that they play anyway to the way we do, and they definitely do. And when you're blitzing, if you can't get home, Dak against the blitz is actually great anyway. But if you can't get home, he's gonna kill you, especially Gallup. I think this will be, like I said, this will be a good game for Gallup as well because he's gonna be one-on-one all day, and Dak has been known to throw it up to Gallup when he sees that cover one.
Right.
He throws it to him. So
I say
think
this
about the Raiders game.
Right. Don't expect 42-7 at halftime. I mean, that's not happening.
Yeah, not that.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, hey, it might, but I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt that's gonna happen. But I can see it happening because they play more man, and that gives you more opportunities in one-on-one. And Dak has been, in my opinion, he's been great. When you one-on-one with a dude, he's been hitting you more often than not. It's when you make the offense in general have to kind of matriculate down the field where it's not going to be those big yardage days, although he just did that on Sunday. But he still had a lot of downfield throws. I mean, the risk of the downfield throws is what we saw in Washington when it's the shell. You're going to get hit. Right, like you as a receiver, you got to be prepared. You may get hit by that linebacker floating in the cover 2 or in the Tampa 2. You might get hit by that safety there that's in that shell. You might get hit by the corner if you coming back on like a whip or something. There's going to be somebody around you. And man, there might be a play like you said. If you one-on-one with Gallup, if you don't make a play on Gallup, he could just take off. You one-on-one with Coop, if he catch it, he could take off. And the same thing with Lamb. So it's possible, CJ, that he can get that, man. Hashtag A to Z. Sky be letting the guy throw the shrimps. Hell no, I don't, bro. We don't do that.
Swat them. That's Shaq. He be
they don't even do that at the hibachis, but I guess they do that wherever the.
Yeah, they do it. They do it at the hibachis. They'll throw the food in your girl mouth, man.
Right.
They throw the shrimp. Yeah, they put the onions on fire and all. I go to.
Well, that's cool. I do like the onions on. I do like the volcano.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see it, but don't throw it at me.
No, you can't throw it at me. They do the egg. They got the egg on the joint.
Right. Do your thing, man. Cool, man. Do your thing. Yep. Flip the spatulas. Make small talk, but stay on your job. Stay in your lane, big homie.
Trey said,
we all can go home safe tonight.
Hashtag A to Z. Coop not with the goofy shit. No, you're not.
Not at all.
DMV. Hashtag A to Z. How come no one is talking about the lack of practice time? Dak held the receivers for extra reps and boom, bounce back game. Yeah. I don't know how much to put it this way. I'm glad he did that. He noticed that, hey man, something's off.
Yeah,
stay back more. But I'm sure they've done that before. It just got out. So I'm all with. That's why the leadership with Dak separates him from a lot of the other guys in his tier, right? There's the Aaron Rodgers. You got the Tom Brady's, the Patricks, who are Super Bowl winners and things like that. And then you got that other tier. And I think what separates Dak from those guys is his leadership ability, and I think it translates on the field.
Yeah, facts.
When is Blake Jarwin coming back?
I don't even know.
They said he's looking to be back on the field, meaning practice type stuff, either this week or next week. But I wouldn't bring him back for the regular season.
To the playoffs.
Yeah, I'll wait for the playoffs. Let me see, man. Any more hashtags? E. Swan said, you guys have great chemistry to preview matchups and post-game analysis. Helps Cowboys Nation. Still show creator and head analyst brought Akoye to where the true skills and gifts flourish, educate, and explain. Man, appreciate that, man. I said earlier, Akoye, you were like our Bucky Brooks.
That's flattering, man. I like Bucky, man.
I like
Bucky and Brian. I like both of them. So if I'm compared to any of that, I love it. So thank you.
New Jersey, we got some predictions. Hashtag A to Z. What's the final score? He says 35-17. I say you got to tune in on Sunday for the Game Day Live preview for me to give you my final score. So.
There you I would agree though. That's somewhere in there 30-17, 30-20. I don't see like we haven't been giving up points in the last 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks, even when we lose. So I think it'll be more of the same.
Yeah, and in their 4 losses, the Cardinals are only averaging 18 points per game. They're
There you
1-4 in their last 5 games. They beat the Chicago Bears. Whoop-de-doo. And they've only scored 18 points per game. So,
And those defenses they've been playing, they ain't been us.
ain't been the Cowboys. I'm not going to go out on a limb and say nothing crazy.
They could. I mean, exactly. Let's not give them no
I'm not
motivation.
because I did this
But,
with the
Lions,
Raiders.
yeah, the Lions and the Colts got pretty good D though. But Lions, I wouldn't say that they're the team that you would think would be smothering Arizona out.
13 points on them boys.
Yeah.
And again, I think not having DeAndre Hopkins is huge because it shrinks the field, and you can shrink the field on maybe a non-athletic team. This team is athletic. So you might think you got a lane or a window or whatever, and it closes fast because you got Kurtz and you got Hooker and you got Micah and you got Randy and you just got your cornerbacks are quick. So
Man, Parsons was on a clear pass rush. Clear. He wasn't covering at all because you saw that Boss Man was actually there too, covering that flat route where Dixon spilled out on I think like a screen pass or something like that. And if Heineke would have thrown the ball the right way, that was another pick six right after the pick six where Parsons peeled off and it just hit right at his feet. So we got guys where it looks like you got something. Like Parsons was beelining for Heineke, and then Heineke went to pump fake towards the flat, and then Parsons turns and gets there and cut it off. He was there. He was right in the hip pocket of the running back. If he would have thrown a good ball, it was intercepted again.
He waited for his pick. And Micah said, you know, he asked him about that. You know, only one. Randy got one. D-Law got one. The whole damn defensive back got one. You know, Watkins got one.
And a pick six.
He got a pick six.
Yo, this defense is like when you put together like the perfect defense on Madden. This defense is like that. Like defense is scoring left and right, man. That's crazy. I need to find the
stats. They got 8 touchdowns this year, 6 defensively, I think, and then 2 special teams. So it's like 8 or 9 touchdowns, something like that. When's the last time Dallas has done that? I mean, I don't even know if that's ever happened.
I mean, not many defenses do that, period. That's like the old Ravens when they had, you know, Ed Reed used to do that all the time.
I think I looked up statistically. I think the record is 11. I think it's 11. Somebody did it in the mid-2000s. Excuse me, y'all. So Cowboys got 2 more games to get, and I think Dallas has 9 touchdowns. So they got 2 more games to get 11 to tie it, 3 to break it. Let's see if they can do
it. Was it Chicago? Because that don't count, right?
Chicago with that 2000 and
it was 16. They're not counting special teams, are they?
All non-offensive touchdowns.
Yeah, Devin Hester. That's why I said that.
Shoot,
might have been Chicago.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, you're right. You know what?
That don't count because it's kickoff returns. I'm talking about defense. Defense, just straight up defense.
Straight up defense. I think Dallas has 8 or 6 or 7. I think 7 touchdowns. Y'all let me know. Somebody in this goddamn chat know. Somebody asked a question. Asmodeus said, Akoye, this for you. Is there anybody out there that can give Bud Crawford some heat?
Oh, man. Listen. Look him up. His name is Jerron Ennis. Jerron Boots Ennis, man. He's out of Philly. Boots has a style where Bud Crawford, shout out to him. He's the best offensive fighter out there right now, but he has no defense. The reason he switches to southpaw when he gets in trouble is because it's hard. He changes the angle on you. But a guy who can fight southpaws and conventional fighters and can bang out of both positions is Jerron Ennis. Jerron Ennis will hurt him, man. He will hurt him. Other than that, no. But Jerron Ennis is a special talent. I take guys over there to spar him all the time. And I told you, like, they don't come in. I got a guy, shout out to Seth. I ain't gonna say his last name, but we brought him here probably 6 months ago to spar Boots, man. Boots knocked him out in the second. He kept saying, I want Boots, because he's bigger than him. I said, you don't want that, bro. He don't spar. He box. He fight. Boots knocked him out in the second round, bro. He retired from boxing.
Oh, wow.
Off of sparring. He's 7-0 in real fights.
He ain't want no more work.
He don't want to box no more, bro. He's back in Detroit. He don't want to come down here no more. He said, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I was busy. I'm like, I got somebody to work with. He got knocked. I wasn't there. I said, don't put this dude in the ring with Boots. I know he want Boots. Don't do it. Man, I'm out of town. They called me. They said, yo, Ced just got knocked out by Boots in the second round, bro. I said, what'd he do? He said, he was trying to get back in there.
Wait.
Well, I talked to him, man. He quit. He really quit boxing, bro. He don't want to box no more, man. No more. I don't think he watched this show, so I can say that, man. But he quit. He's like, oh, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to fight no more.
For those who don't know, Akoye is a trainer in Philly, so a boxing trainer. So now you know. Go check out his Instagram. Like, you put a lot of your videos up there, don't you?
Yeah, they up there. You can check them out, man. All those guys up there.
My man CJ Richards, he said hashtag A to Z. Will we get another thick six this weekend? So I don't know if you know, man.
Balls.
And he laughed about it because so they're calling the big men when they score, they call it a thick six. Right?
I get it.
And I said that on air, and Jesse just went.
He's like,
what? I'm like, yo, hold time out, Jesse. Chill. I ain't make this up. Nah, he ran. He just went in, bro. And we had some fun with him on the post game show. So hey, listen, I don't know if it's going to be Terrence Steele. I don't know who it's going to be, Carlos Watkins.
Oh, man.
You know, but I was like, I think I even dropped your name. I said, if Akoye was here, man, he'd have hit you with a whole pause.
Yeah, pause. Pause. Shout out to Jesse, too, man.
Oh, yeah, that's my guy, man.
Crazy, man.
Can't wait to get back with him on Sunday for this home game. We had a couple more of these hashtag A to Z's before we roll up out of here. The Lunatic wants to know, will we have the NFC Offense and Defensive Player of the Week after the Cards game? Maybe. I don't know. I just want the win at that point.
That's it.
Any more, man? I'm kind of behind, so my apologies. Hashtag A to Z, Jason.
Gotti, Babby. Oh,
you see some too?
Yeah, I see Gotti, Babby. A to Z Sports, are you planning on going to WrestleMania this year? Are you going?
So I really want to. I promise y'all I want to, but boy, I can't look at them tickets, man. I'm about to call into the radio station and try to get me a free one because them tickets is crazy. So
how much are they?
And it ranges depending where you want to sit, and it's at Texas Stadium. So I'm not really trying to be at the top because a wrestling
I didn't know wrestling was doing that good. Like I don't watch it no more, but I didn't know it was doing that good.
I usually try to tune into the big four, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series. I try to tune in. I grew up
on it. That's my shit. I mean, that's my
diehard. They know it. That's why he said what he said. They know on his channel. I love wrestling. But if you sit at the top of a wrestling A to Z, it look like ants. So you're just gonna be watching it on the screen, and for that, I just stay at home. So, well, I want to, but we'll see. What else we got here, man? Where's the matchup you're most concerned about against the Cardinals? Says Jason Bigley. Matchup most concerned. That's a good question because they give me a lot of confidence. Oh, I got one. Chandler Jones.
You took the words right out of my mouth, man. Period. Go.
Chandler Jones against Lyle Collins.
That's it.
And that's not a knock on Lyle. It's just
it's just Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones. I saw that dude broke a sled. How you break a sled? The dude's strong. You saw that?
No, I never seen.
You never saw that?
Oh,
look that up. I wish we had a Jamie like Joe Rogan right now. Like pull that up. Jamie.
That up. That's the goal.
Yeah, we need one. But go look at that when you're done this. Chandler Jones gets in the 3-point stance and just gets up and takes the whole. You know how you just hitting the sled?
He took
the whole top of that. Yeah, from a 3-point stance, no running start, no nothing. Pop and broke it. Crazy.
Yeah, I gotta check it out. I mean, he's a beast, so that would be my matchup.
Nasty,
to be most concerned about. Mel says hashtag A to Z. Shout out to my guy Mel. He says, who are Arizona's corners? And as I'm looking it up, all I know was Byron Murphy, but they got a couple other dudes. The nickel guy Antonio Hamilton, who I see here, and Marco Wilson. I don't know if that's their I don't know if that's their guys or if the other dudes is hurt. So that's their corners.
I don't know. You got D Lunatic. What do you think is the reason for the big red zone scoring difference at home versus away games?
That's what I wanted to get into when we were talking about Kellen before, but I don't know, it kind of slipped my mind. I think that's the real That's the real, not issue with Kellen, but that's who he is. On the road, he's a certain way. At home, he's a certain way. And Broadus, again, he always brings out what I'm trying to say, but I can't quite get it. And he was like, there's that Scott Linehan, Jason Garrett-ism to him, where on the road, what did Jason Garrett always want to be? Just keep it close, just keep it tight, and we're going to try to win it at the end. And he really dials it up in that way on the road.
Right.
And at this point now, Akoye, like I'm living with that's who he is, So now getting upset and frustrated on the road I'm not even going to do that no more. Yeah, but if I see him doing that crap at home, then I'm gonna come for your neck. Exactly. Because there's no excuse.
Yeah, you gotta take it. You gotta take it like that. Triple D, Akoye, you still work them hands. Some facts. Go watch my IG. I definitely do. And then you got who else? You want me to read another one?
I got Ted asked about who the best wrestler is in the current era.
Oh, you got to hit me.
He said he misses the Attitude Era. Kenny Omega is one of them. He's in AEW. I think AJ Styles is another one. The talent level in the wrestling industry now is ridiculous. It's like football, right? Like 30, 40 years ago, athletes were different.
Guy that was an athlete like Shawn Michaels.
And Marty Jannetty was doing stuff, and you're like, oh my God. Now they all doing the super kicks and the crazy flips and things like that.
Rey Mysterio is crazy.
Right.
Dude could flip all over the place, man.
Yeah, I would. I mean, he said wrestler, but if you're talking about like the character and everything that's going right now, Roman Reigns' character and what he got going on with the head of the table is pretty damn dope. Fresh Face said, Akoye, do you think Quinn will hold back on stunts because of Murray's elusiveness? It's a good question.
I think we will some because it's just not smart to give him lanes because of his acceleration. Like he can get out on the edge on you pretty quick, and they're going to have some design runs where he's going to do that anyway. So you don't want to get caught out of position having Nev or any of those interior linemen trying to get out and set the edge on a guy that can break that contain anyway, even if they're in good position. So you might see us do a little bit less of it. Unless we're on third downs where we're bringing multiple guys anyway. So, yeah, if we get them in third and long situations, we'll come after them that way. But early downs, probably not. So, yeah, we will probably scale that back a little bit.
Could be a catch-22 where if you scale it back, you're taking away what you do really well. Dan Quinn, they run these stunts, and these players, credit to them, they run these stunts really well, and it gets guys like Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence in one-on-one, sometimes not even touched, because they have that slither of space that they can get through.
It depends on if we're up, too. Like if we're up and we don't have to come out there with obvious running personnel, because sometimes you see us kick D-Law inside and bash him inside and have Randy and Chauncey or Randy and Parsons outside. We get those types of looks. We can stun all day with those guys because even when you have D-Law and Basham clearing to get outside, they can actually, contain Murray. They have enough speed and athleticism to chase him.
If you're not going to do the stunts, then they're probably going to play that muddle rush where we're going to try to get you from the interior, but we don't want to let Murray escape on the outside. But I'm kind of with you from earlier in the show. I don't know that I really want to play muddle rush. Go get his ass. Go get his ass, make him run around, and then Michael will track him.
Make a mistake early, and then after that, do whatever you want later in the game. Yeah. Facts.
Corey said, what do you guys think about Connor Williams' return to the lineup? Been loving it.
Yeah, I was, I was down on Connor years ago, but I told you guys after the Bills game when he played with that ACL, I liked him. This year, I was coming at him a little bit. Wasn't really off of him, but was coming at him. But he made me realize what we were missing when we took him out. So definitely happy to have him back. And sometimes you don't miss what you got. You don't know you got a good thing till it's gone. Yeah, get Connor back in there, bro. I was like, put Connor back in this game. I want no more experimentation, man. Put him back.
I kept trying to get across to Cowboys Nation that, y'all, his play has been fine. But everybody was like, oh, he's getting pushed back. I'm like, I promise y'all it's his play. But it's the penalties that kept making me say, damn it, Connor, how can I defend you if you keep getting these penalties? Yeah. So I'm not going to lie. I caved. I was like, all right, I don't know what else to do, man. 13 damn penalties in like 10 games or whatever it was. Right. All right, man, let's sit him down. Hopefully that Pine will change his mind. And then at some point, if it doesn't work out with McGovern, this is why I didn't mind it when they did it, because it was like we got time to correct it.
Right.
And I'm just glad we have a coaching staff that is not stubborn, that looked at
And
it and said,
yeah,
all right, we gave you 3 games, McGovern, 4 games. We not only did we not get better, we got worse. So now we can put Connor McGovern in. Guess how many penalties he has since?
0.
0. So
And
that
it's the
pie must have changed his
devil,
mind.
right? The devil, too. Like
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out with Connor McGovern, you already know what you got in the Williams. So yeah, you're
Hey.
right. That it changed his mind for sure.
Last one. Hashtag A to Z, the lunatic. Does Akoye have a Cash App? Need to show him some love for this fire. Show me Cash App, bro.
It's $4. Yeah, $4, M as in Mary, LESS. It's really the word formless, but spelled with a number 4. So $formless with a number 4.
Put it in the chat. $.
Appreciate you.
Where damn y'all, here it is. $, Akoye Cash App. $, M less.
$4 M less. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
And also
Appreciate
check out his YouTube too. Stevie McNamara guy just dropped your YouTube tag in there.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate the love. Thank you.
Yeah, man. And Below the Heavens just dropped $2 in the super chat. He said, "How did Akoye become a Cowboys fan in PA?" We both from PA. We both from PA. We both Cowboys fans.
I'm actually from
But
Texas.
I'm about to say, wait, you're not from PA. You moved to PA.
Yep. Well, I can't take the Texas and make it seem like it's because I'm from Texas. Though I didn't know nothing about football when I came here. My uncle played for. Shout out to Uncle Dennis. He played for the Washington Federals in the USFL, and he was just a diehard Cowboys fan. Man, him, my brothers, all my cousins. He made us all Cowboys fans. So I got to thank Uncle Dennis for that. But I actually am from Fort Hood, Texas, too. So that kind of helps when people trying to rumble me. They're like, man, how you from Philly? I get that from Philadelphians all the time. How you from? You a trader? How you from Philly and you a Cowboys fan? I'm like, I'm actually from Texas. They be like, well, all right, I can understand you though. I'll be cool.
Man, so use it.
Like, I can understand you though. I can see how you could be a Cowboy fan. I get it. But I don't understand how nobody else is. Yeah.
Everybody can miss me with that bull crap, bro. Like that has nothing to do with anything with fandom. If being a fan of a team was only about where you live, there wouldn't be sports on a professional level because there wouldn't be enough money to be made for teams to be shown on broadcast television and things like that. Just you need fans from everywhere. Period.
And I wanted to be Emmitt Smith when I was a kid. I wanted to be Emmitt Smith when I was a young man. So it was hard. I like winning. I like watching winning. And the Eagles, they was dirty. They embodied Philadelphia's personality and all that. And in Pittsburgh, I loved Greg Lloyd and Kevin Green growing up too. So Pittsburgh was like my AFC team. I was more of a Pittsburgh fan, AFC wise, and then a Cowboys fan, NFC wise. But overall Cowboys fan. But I didn't like the Eagles, man. I ain't never liked
another team. I grew up in a Cowboys house. My stepdad, diehard Cowboys fan from the 70s. And that's just pretty much how I became a Dallas Cowboy fan. Like I didn't know no better. Hell, you could have told me I lived in Texas when I was 5 years old. I wouldn't have said no different. It's snowing here, but okay. I didn't pay attention to where I live. It was this is who my stepdad liked. This is who I like now. And it's now embedded in your system. Like this is my squad. You know what I mean? I grew up loving this team. I went through this heartache. You know what I'm saying? I went through all this craziness. Yeah, I got to see one Super Bowl. I remember vividly, but I was a kid. I want to get back to seeing the Super Bowl as an adult and seeing it on a regular damn basis, right? So I'm not leaving. I got a friend who was a Cowboy fan. He said, I became a Cowboy fan because of Deion. But then when Randy Moss became a Viking, I became a Viking fan. I'm like, what? You wasn't no Cowboy fan then, bro.
Yeah, you just was a fan of players.
You're just a fan.
Like I watch basketball. I'm like, I like this guy.
Now he a Viking fan for through and through now.
For real.
That's whack to me. I'm sorry. If you one of those dudes,
bandwagon hop
whack.
like that, man.
If you
gotta stick with,
if you jump from one team,
with the girl who brung you.
Facts. If you jump from one team and you became a Dallas Cowboy fan, I salute you for being part of Cowboys Nation, but that's whack. How can you can't really fully appreciate whatever is going to happen with the Dallas Cowboys in a positive way if you just became a Dallas Cowboy fan. You can't do it. So.
And but that's what's going on with a lot of our fan base. A lot of guys who don't know football, a lot of people who don't know football that well, or people, even people who just watch mainstream primetime TV. because of the type of coverage we get, you get a lot of people who call themselves fans or who feel that they're Cowboys fans because that's what they see the most of, but they haven't been here watching, or they're in the new generation where they've been Cowboys fans for the last 15, 20 years, but they haven't been here when we were winning. You know what I mean? So that's history to them. They don't know anything about it. So they know more about losing with us than anything else.
But I appreciate that, fan. If you became a Dallas Cowboy fan in the last 15, 20 years or whatever, boy, you came in a rough time. You know what I mean? You came in Dave Campo and, going through the heartache with Tony and things like that. You came in a rough time, So I appreciate you if you sticking around. I don't do bandwagon. I don't like fair weather either, but bandwagon really pisses me off.
Nope. And I don't like the ones that the fans that's like rooting against themselves. I call it like they got imposter syndrome. They don't know how to win because they never won, and they don't. And I get it, but they are looking for us to collapse rather than because I told you so, guys.
Right? Yeah, they want to be right.
This dude told me spent 30 minutes with 4 paragraphs straight telling me why Dak is not the answer. So I just asked him a question. I said, I'm not gonna argue with you, bro. Just tell me what do we do then if Dak's not the answer? What we doing next? What we about to do next? Because how hard is it to, even if you think Dak ain't the best, I don't care what you think, but how hard is it to find even a Dak if you think he's not the best or you think he's not in the top 5? How hard is it to find that? How many teams are blown up? Their coaching staff is blown up. Everybody is misplaced and disheveled because look at Haskins. Haskins going over to the Redskins or Haskins, whatever his name was, got drafted over there. And now he can't even find a job because
alternative
motives. You go to the wrong team with the wrong situation at quarterback, man. It's gonna be a while.
I'm convinced. I really wish I would have screenshotted this message some dude sent in the Facebook on A to Z Sports. I dropped a video of the film session, just the drive of the game. It was just the drive of the game. It was the second possession of the game for the Cowboys against the Washington football people. They scored a touchdown. Great drive. This man literally went and dropped like 3 different paragraphs, 3 different posts about how Dak Prescott missed this person, he missed that person. We won the game in spite of Dak Prescott's bad play. He said you can't be honest about Dak Prescott in this game, but I get that you just have to maintain your popularity so you can speak to these casual fans. I'm sitting here like, sir, if you came away from this game thinking that, you are lost, my friend. And I hope that you find yourself as a fan so you can enjoy this season. Until then, don't say nothing else to me, bro. Period. I can't debate with people like that.
That dude drinking Cavassier, man. Sometimes fans don't know they got like what do you call it? Stockholm syndrome or whatever. Yeah, you're not really Cowboys fans. You're Giants fans that just dress up as a Cowboy from time to time or whatever.
I think there's alternative motives behind that. There's certain things when you are that vile, when you are that upset at a 56-14 beatdown where your quarterback was near perfect with 4 touchdowns.
Win.
What?
You don't like win. You don't want us to win, man.
Right.
That don't make sense. How you mad at the wins? You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make sense.
Super chat.
My guy Trucker's Life, thank you for the donation. He said, I'm from Compton, California, and been a diehard Cowboys fan since 1990. I'll clip up for you if I could.
I love LA, man.
My lady, she's hilarious. She said, I became a lifelong Cowboys fan 3 years ago. And she's talking about because when she met me.
She inherited all your goodness, like vampirism.
But I appreciate her so much because she ain't just like, oh, go Cowboys. Like, nah, we go to the game. Like, she get fired up. She wear the jersey. She all in Dallas Cowboys. And it feel good when you can convert your lady to be the
facts.
Like, the teams.
You know what I did? I bought her a blue mink for Christmas. I said, "Oh, you gonna love the Cowboys now." I bought her a navy blue cowboy blue mink, and she was like, "Oh, I love the Cowboys now." She like blue and silver, so I bought her a mink. She like, "I love the Cowboys now." She from Philly, so she like, "Man, I'm a Cowboy fan now."
That's shit. She from Philly.
You better be. You better be under that check. You better be. You better go ahead and get it.
One more from Trucker's Life. I got to press the button, man.
Super chat.
He says, appreciate the donation. He says, even when my cousin was playing, Steve Smith Sr., that's your cousin? I never rooted against my boys. Period.
Smart man.
Period. I remember when Shady got drafted to the Eagles, like lifelong friend. I was like, damn, Shady. Like, congratulations, but now I got to root against you.
Can't mess with you,
I'm
bro.
not messing with you in Philly, dog.
Yeah,
When you play the Cowboys, I hope you have 0 yards for 0 touchdowns.
I like
20
Shady too.
carries. Oh, Shady, cool. Yeah, man. Yeah. So
moves on top of moves.
we got somebody that joined the nation here, the membership squad, and then we're gonna get up out of here, man. The Eagles are trash. Became a Pro Bowl member. He's been a member for 4 months. He said, "Yo, since Halloween, the defense versus opposing quarterbacks, 53% completion, 64 QBR, 26 sacks, and 14 interceptions. Number 1 defense on third downs. Wow, it's defense for you, man."
Feast your eyes said, what Akoye saying about D-Law now? Whatever y'all need me to say, because obviously it'll work. So if you need me to talk a little more trash, I'm available every Wednesday, man. I'll say whatever you need me to say to keep him playing like this. But real rap, I gave you your credit on my show, but I don't know if you watched it. But I said, hey, Skywalker won this debate. I can't even say nothing else, man. D-Law did it for you, man. I was like, Sky won this debate. He won this debate.
What
D-Law
he's talking
came
about
out.
is go run back the Akoye Wednesday. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, Akoye Wednesday last week.
Yeah.
We had him on, and a caller, no, not a caller, but somebody said something in the chat, and Akoye responded, and it just took us into like a whole nother show for like a half hour.
That was a nice debate.
Really good one.
Yeah, you won that one, man.
I wasn't trying to argue anymore. You know what? I'll take him. I'm gonna take my flower.
Hey, I can take my L's like a man, man. Like I take my L's like a man. I lost that one. D-Law, I will leave you alone, good brother. Yeah, keep playing like you're playing, though. I appreciate it.
Leave him alone, man.
Yeah, give him a lot of leave alone.
Let him sit there and be cool. Bring him back.
Don't even say that to him. I ain't gonna talk about the kids no more. I love all y'all. I love all of you.
So he became a family man. He good. He ain't hungry no more. He don't want nothing.
I found Jesus. I found it. I have found the light.
All right, man. Before we be on here for 3 damn hours, there was one more super chat. I always got to make sure I try to get to my super chat.
Super chat.
Jay Jones, man, he just dropped a 5 in the donation. He said, "Salute my guys. # run it back." That's right, y'all. If y'all did miss this fire show, again, man, I appreciate Akoye coming on here every week. These things are some of my favorite parts of the week. If y'all miss it, sure, run this back. It might be on Koye's channel. I'm not sure if he's gonna take it and
put it on.
Rip it on there.
I couldn't last week. I had strep throat last week. I'm not doing nothing.
Right, so
laying down.
It'll be
but
there.
I got you. I'll do it today.
It'll be here on Dallas Cowboys, whether it be Facebook or YouTube, and it'll also be in the audio form. If you guys can't watch live, it'll be in the audio form on all podcasting platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, all that good stuff. So make sure y'all lock in, man. But all right, Akoye, go ahead with your parting shots here for the show.
Man, once again, appreciate y'all having me on, man. I like teeing it up for y'all. If you want to follow, like a lot of y'all was asking about boxing and about these hands, you want to follow that? I'll usually post a lot of funny material and boxing material and political material on my IG. So if you ain't ready for that, don't even bother coming over there because I'll piss you off.
Yeah.
But follow me, same name, Akoye Media on IG and especially on YouTube. Definitely get on there and start rocking out. I got something planned for New Year's that's coming up as well. I'm going to take a lot of the old videos that a lot of the new followers haven't seen, and I'm going to put them in a playlist collection, and we're going to run it, 24 hours on that day. So definitely jump on the YouTube channel as well. But appreciating the ride, and this year is looking real good. So hopefully we go all the way, man, and turn this into something. But thanks for having me, man, for sure.
You do.
Oh, one other thing. Akoye stands for, I got to say this every time I'm on now, accumulated knowledge over years of experience. I'm not Nigerian, no pun intended, nothing against my Nigerian brethren out there, but I am from America.
I cannot believe. Oh, I meet Akoye. I cannot. You got to love him coming to America.
My son works.
He said, "Oh, your son's at, when your son's at McDonald's. My son works. And with that mess, he's a king." Yo, round table tomorrow? I don't know when it's going to be.
I think so. It was supposed to be tonight, right?
Well, I said Thursday was best for me, but then Law said Friday. Foots was like whenever. We're trying to figure it out.
So yeah, if they ready, I'm ready. I'm with it.
Yeah, if we got to do it tonight, it is what it is.
I don't care, man. Let's go.
Preferably, I'd prefer tomorrow. But if not, I'll rock out. So we'll get into the chat. There possibly will be
legendary too.
Oh my goodness, man! Look, Vach is coming off vacation, so he got a lot lot.
he been saying Vaj been quiet for a second. Then I seen him last week.
He
Like
got a
he
lot.
just started kind of going off a little bit. I said, Vaj ready. He got a lot to say. And then Foots has been just writing things in his notepad because Foots was going off for a little while, but he stopped. I think he calmed down a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be good, man. It's gonna be. You know, Law don't say nothing. Law too busy. Law done figured out cloning. Whatever federal agency Law worked for, it's like 8 of them dudes, man. Because I don't know, the Law be live on every network. And then I just seen him at the grocery store down here, and he live in Texas. So I don't know how he doing it. But Law everywhere, man. For sure, man.
Law's
He
mastered the
everywhere.
ability to instigate without looking like an instigator when it comes to debates on the show. So you saying, Akoye, saying that according to the I'm just that's my boy Law. I can't do the rhyming. He know how to rhyme and make it make sense. I can't flow like that.
Yeah, that's what Law be doing though. He be tearing you up for an ass whooping because I swear when me and Voch first met, that's what Law was doing. He's like, oh, I ain't gonna debate. He seen I was like, I ain't know nothing about being live at all. I'll be talking crazy, talking over the host and everything. He's like, oh, I'm not gonna argue with you.
This is a new one.
I got somebody for your ass. And then me and Voch sitting there going at it, and Law just sitting there like, oh, really? So tell him about. He kept bringing up Dez. He said, "Tell him about Dez Bryant. Talk about Dez," because he knew that would set me off every time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he do. He do it real smooth too.
He'd say something that's gonna set you off. Like, talk about Dez. What you think about Dez, Voch? And then go. It's on.
This is a new one right here. So Akoye, you juxtaposed to Skywalker. You think that DeMarcus Lawrence should be cut juxtaposed to Colston? You think about that.
How bad did you keep saying juxtaposed?
That's a new one. That's a new one. That's a new one. Juxtaposed.
Juxtaposed.
But he uses so damn good. I be like, I can't find no way to use juxtaposed.
Voch with soliloquy. I'm like, who the hell, man? Come on, man. Who said soliloquy, bro? Like, what's up with you, bro?
No, he got me saying soliloquy
it's
now.
Soliloquy. I'd be like nomenclature. Like, come on, man. We be going there.
I love it.
Show that we all thespians at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Today, tomorrow, Friday is gonna be this week at some point. So y'all make sure y'all tune in for that, man. I'm gonna press this damn button.
Go ahead, man.
Make sure y'all rock out A to Z Sports Dallas prime time later tonight. Mauricio Rodriguez, and check out A to Z Sports.com/Dallas for all your amazing Cowboys content and work and articles from our writers, man. Great show today, Akoye. Appreciate you coming through as always,
man.
bro.
Yeah, dope, man. Thanks for having me.
I'll run this thing back my damn
You
self.
lunatic. Appreciate you too, man. I saw that super chat. Thank you.
We missed it. My
Appreciate
fault.
it.
All right, yo, we out of here.
Super chat,
Peace.
Peace.
I want me some glory hole.